look you up here. And it was, you turned it in right here. Oh, it's making me log in. Let's say, oh, there we are. So you did right here. Pick a date. And then how do you spell your last name?
Richardson. Richardson.
I see you put probably March 5th.
I think so.
Is that it? Why does it make it so hard? Why does everything have to be so hard? There you go. And what was your topic? We can help you with it.
I haven't even picked the topic yet.
Like depression,
I think
addiction,
Can
alcoholism.
you create mine?
Yeah. How do you spell your last name?
Wilson.
You might be the very next one. Dang, I even did it within 24 hours of, oh, because it goes automatic 0. That's hilarious.
That's what I was thinking to do tonight and stuff.
It goes to automatic 0.
Yeah.
That is annoying. Well, sometimes that does
Help you.
wake up. Yeah, like I would be the student until I got a 0. I'm not going to do shit. You ever do that one?
No.
They're like, until you give me a 0, I'm not going to ask when it is due. That should be easy points, though, shouldn't it? Okay. And then if there's not a submission, there's not a submission. Okay. Let's do. Damn it. Was there another one that I had promised you guys?
For what?
I was teaching the ethics of productivity in the last class because every agency you work at, they give you a productive number of billable hours you have to make. What do you think that is per week at agencies?
I have no idea.
What would your guess be if they're like, bill? So you will work 40 hours a week. And then billables means you're there face to face talking to a client or case managing a client.
Is it like 100 or something? Or is that too high?
It could be 100 a month. I have seen it be 100 a month. And I do think that's too high. Usually it's 80 per month. So like if you see you later.
See you.
Mm-hmm. If you took a vacation in the middle, sometimes people would do 30 the first week, take a vacation, so you got 0, 30 the second week, and then 20 the third week. Which also there was always that debate, like, well, then what's the point of vacation if you have to like up your number? 20 billable hours a week is normal average per client. Let me see if AI would still pick up on that. What is normal product?
Okay, one more question. Our
Yep.
presentation has to be 10 minutes.
Yeah, and you can throw a video in the middle there, like alcoholism is when you're diagnosed with blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
It just teaches you guys because that is a lot of times our billable service is our freaking brain. So like we have to know how to talk to clients. We have to know how to like sit in front of people, engage with them, maybe connect with them over a challenge or a problem, make some goals with them, and then that's how we do it.
Okay.
What is normal productivity per week in social services with either a BSW or MSW? Let's see if it pulls it up. I want to see if somebody wrote, ooh, they do say 20 to 30. I hate that.
A week.
Yeah, but it does say interactions, but in a parentheses after it, it says billable hours per week. So Normal weekly productivity in social services, regardless of holding a BSW or MSW, vary significantly by setting, but generally averages 20 is what I've always been told. To 30 client interactions, billable hours per week for full-time positions in community mental health. Expectations often push toward higher, more strenuous targets of 25 to 35 clients per week. Dang, that's a citation from Headway. I actually got hired by them. So billable hours, many agencies require 60% of a 40-hour week to be billable, quotes. Common, often debated expectation is 6 to 8 contacts per day. Holy shit, that's a lot. Caseload size. See, this is where I think why we're experiencing burnout in social services. Caseload size. Total active caseloads vary, ranging from 15 to 20 for intensive case management to 55 to 90 for general outpatient. 70 often cited as high volume average. God. These numbers must typically be met with completing detailed progress notes. That's why 20 is my number, which often adds 10 to 15 hours of work per week. So that's NASW for real. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see if it'll take me to it. Because this says, I like this person. I advocate for implementing a cap on caseloads due to the increasing needs of students and the diminishing time available to meet those needs. In my opinion, standard caseload should not exceed 25 to 30. Oh, students, looking at this 35 hours a week. Okay. What else did they say? Because hello.
Hi.
How are you? All right, so there's a lot written about productivity and caseloads. This looks a bit more normal too. So nationally, an intensive case management standard is 12 to 15 individuals per case manager. Lead also includes individuals in the wind not actively engaging. 20 participants. So there's this ongoing debate. How many clients should you guys see per week when you get your license in social work and a degree in social work? And my theory is 20 per week. But all these people, it looks like they're trying to up the ante again, where it's like a lot. So maybe Reddit will have a better 8 contacts based off any specific requirement. 4.5 hours per day. That's getting better. 20 a week would be 4 hours per day. Because usually when I was at Lighthouse, I'd see people in the morning, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then I'd go and write my notes at 1, and then you go home. And it helps for your own mental health. You're not like busting your ass all day, every day, where it's like burnout type of numbers. This one, it looks like they're still trying to squeak it up by 10%. If they say 4.5 hours, that would be 22.5 a week. And so it's a little bit more. Let me see. Here you go. These guys say 25 clients a week is crazy. I agree. CMH is the fastest road to burnout, community mental health, especially with quotas. I never had those types of requirements working for a community mental health. I did some home-based therapy. Good luck to you. So I guess the other question is, do you have productivity requirements at your agency? If so, how do you manage to meet the requirements? For my agency, a full-time therapist has to see about 25 clients per week. That's 60% productivity. It's required for all licensed therapists. Damn. However, it's community mental health and like pulling teeth to get clients in. Well, that's why we did home visits. A lot of people say if you go to them or go to them in the school, especially when you're only allowed Medicaid clients, how does your workplace respond if you're unable to meet productivity? So a few of them are like, that's too many. All the documentation is due in 24 hours, longer for assessments. 104 per month. That seems like a lot too. Decreases based on sick days, vacation times. That's nice. Or trainings attended each month. My note writing time and travel time is included along with direct service towards my productivity. Holy crap. Well, that's nice. Seriously. I have a caseload of 12 clients, travel time, and really. So 12 clients maximum for the program I work in. So it's not unusual for me to see some clients more than once a week, and I bill collaterals as well. My boss is super chill and doesn't say anything when we don't meet productivity. There are people who have been working here for a long time and have never met productivity. So I don't worry. Interesting. So yeah, this is too much. 40 sessions per week. They average 32, which is still a lot. I'm on an action plan to increase productivity. It's very stressful, and this is a newer expectation. Notes have to be done in 24 hours. The paperwork is so much. We have a full-time chart auditor. Huh. I dread seeing his emails. Yeah. So it's like that email you get and your stomach sinks, like, oh, like you see a bad grade or something, like, oh, help me, Jesus. They have a caseload of 50. They have to see him twice per month. That's probably in hospice. That sounds like right at hospice. So 20 per week is what I was used to, but I just keep hearing of all these places trying to get it to be more and more and more and more. So, and that was weird to see that Headway was one of the first ones that said do 30 billable hours per week. Maybe if AI is writing your notes. So these people advertise that you can make $100,000 a year working here. And if you saw 30 clients a week at $70 per hour, that would make sense. But
so when you're taking your notes, that's like based on like when you like talking to your client and stuff. What kind of notes what kind of stuff do you write down?
what is normal? They call it a SOAP note. And that's how you remember it. Subjective, objective, assessment, and plan. So when you write, subjective is the client's self-reported experience, feelings, and perspectives. You'll have a direct quote from them. Objective is the measurable, observable facts like behaviors, appearance, like client was tearful. Assessment is like your social work, clinical analysis, synthesizing subject and objective, including progress, clinical impressions, or changes in functioning, like did good on a test and is passing the class and we'll do this. Plan is like, we'll meet with him next week, scheduled for Thursday, 5 p.m.
Oh.
That's like the main way people, they have a YouTube channel. Let's see here. Maybe they could, here you go. How to write a SOAP note. And it's only 2 minutes. The next one's
Questions?
56.
Go ahead. Ask clarifying questions. Just don't make assumption. Okay. At a high level, we just went over completing the subjective section of the SOAP notes template. The next section we are going to discuss is the objective section. In the objective section, this is where we shift to your observations. This includes things like posture, tone of voice, or click.
I might fall asleep listening to him, but that's like an example of a SOAP note. I guess.
Now, let's break down each SOAP component. First, subjective. Record the client's experience using their own words. For example, client expressed feeling overwhelmed. Next, Objective. This is about observable data. Avoid opinions or interpretations here. For instance, client appeared anxious and restless. Then comes the assessment. Integrate the information gathered. For example, client's anxiety links to financial stresses. Finally, the plan outlines future actions. For instance, continue sessions focusing on coping strategies. Common mistakes can hinder clarity. Avoid vague language or blending personal opinions in the notes. Stick to specific observations for the best impact. Writing good SOAP notes requires best practices. Write notes immediately after sessions for accuracy. Keep your language clear and concise. Relate all documentation back to treatment.
Some people would argue your last 6 minutes with a client, you would write this while you're there with the client too, where you could just
I
like,
feel like that would be difficult.
Right.
Right, and listen,
Right.
now I'm missing information.
yeah, yep.
I need to record the conversation, then go back and write my notes.
And they called it collaborative documentation.
Is that what they do? Like they write their notes while they're talking or after?
That is one thing they pushed us to do, because their argument was you're still with the client those 6 minutes. You can bill for it while you're writing it. You'll never hold all 20 notes off until Friday to do them like the last hour of the week. And then it helps you talk to the client and understand what their goals are. That's the one argument as to why you do. Here it is. Collaborative documentation, writing a SOAP note immediately after the session with the client's input. Benefits: increases client engagement, improves accuracy, ensures they understand the treatment plan. Best practices are that they ensure the note is objective, concise, and compliant with HIPAA. I've never seen, apparently there's a lot of collaborative documentation stuff. That's a whole training on it. Nothing basic about it. So, we had this training at our job. We didn't have as many pictures in this, but they say it helps you balance your work life. It'll save you approximately 7 hours of writing notes at the end of the week. Because a lot of people will wait. If they're due within, say, 48 to 72 hours, they'll wait till 72 hours. Say Monday, they'll do all their notes Thursday. But if you do it during the session, spending 10 hours a week on post-session documentation. And then they're saying it loses you like thousands of dollars. Is kind of what they're saying. Most providers are moving to same-day documentation. Direct service is 65% of paid time. So it's interesting. They have all these business models with the stuff. In fact, does it let you save it? That would be fun. It does. So that's their argument is to do, and then they argue clients like it better. Better client engagement, saves time, helps achieve better work-life balance because you're not right. You do it they did say immediately after the session, but the client's still there. So you're on the clock billing with them while you're writing it. So you're getting paid to write it. Whereas if you do it the other way, you got 10 hours at the end of the week, you're writing your notes and you don't get paid while you're writing it.
Wait, so you said the clients like it when they're doing that the last 6 minutes or like after?
There's an argument that clients like to be there because you review your goals with them,
Okay.
You talk about how they're doing, and they catch up with you, and then you can give them feedback. What would you guys like or prefer if you were a client or a therapist?
I would want to do it at the last 6 minutes, but I don't know. I have bad memory. I don't want to forget nothing.
Right.
Still engage with the client.
Yeah.
Can you hold this real quick? Let me write this down.
Yeah.
Is that?
One agency I work for, it's called growtherapy.com. They get client consent that Autobot will write the notes for you. So it's listening on your session, then it types it up for you. So it's supposed to be HIPAA approved too, where they like keep it confidential, but there's still a robot that is obviously listening to the. So I don't know how confidential they can keep it, but that is something that's legit right now.
I want to do it. My memory would be more accurate.
Yeah.
Trying to do it later and forgetting stuff.
Right. Yeah, so other people do it the end of the day. Maybe they take an hour for documenting their 4 or 5 clients. But again, that's another hour of work that you want to be done.
By the end of the day, I'll be just got everything. Right. Everybody, I wouldn't even remember the first person name at that point.
So you'd rather do the note live time while you're sitting there with them. Yep. That's kind of why they're pushing this a little bit.
But I feel like as like a client, I would kind of be like, I don't know.
Like, dude, why are you writing your damn note now? Pay attention to me.
Yeah.
Okay, right. No, that's fair.
Really know.
I do still sometimes, like, I'll have the folder, we still have pen and paper, and then I just write minimal stuff, you know,
So
like,
you can do like bullet points and stuff. Like
Yeah.
That. Like that would be, just jot down little stuff.
Yeah. Here's their argument that how much you're saving doing collaborative documentation over the like weeks, months, and years. So if you bill, that's a lot of billable hours, by the way. So billable hours per year, 1,200, 46 operational weeks. I guess they're saying we have 3 or 4 weeks paid vacation, 10 federal holidays. Average session length is 60. So they're saying time per session, you're saving 5 hours per year. Basically, they're arguing if you write your note at the very end of the session, you're saving time, money, and efficiency. So that's why they've always pushed for this. It improves documentation accuracy and compliance because then you won't forget it. That's what you guys were saying. But if you were the client, you'd be like, come on, dude, get off that paper. Quit typing on the computer or whatever it is. But here it is. It says, by documenting collaboratively, we have accurate representation of what occurred during the client sessions. The more time that passes between the sessions and when it's documented, our memories begin to fail and documentation gets more vague, homogeneous, and less helpful. It's probably true. Having to stop, think, and recall and then write will take more time, and we end up documenting what we hope and not what the client took from the session, not what we can confirm they understood. I can see that. So yeah, people are very much so pushing this time, money, value. But it does seem more like a business model than it does like connecting with your client. Do any of you guys write notes for anything you do right now? Jobs? What's for?
Mostly. Wait, I think I heard it right. You said notes for what? Jobs?
Yeah.
Class.
But class too. I mean,
for class, yeah. For
Yeah.
Jobs, not really.
Okay. I know we have somebody in my previous class. She works in a group home, so she has to write a note every hour about what the clients did. It's a group home with like special needs folks. So, yeah, here it is again, where they do assessment, service planning, and then the progress note, individual, family, group, field-based. Oh, yeah, this is what they want you to do too. They turn the computer so the client can see it. Can your client see your screen? And then that's kind of how you do it. That's what they would recommend. It's not negotiating what is documented in the record. The clinician must document objectively, and to be considered collaborative, the client should know what is being documented, ideally via visual access, have the opportunity to ask questions. I try to do this with my clients anyway, where I tell them I keep most things as confidential as I can, because people could audit your records. And I've heard of a client before because he told a story about drinking, and then the VA wrote that note in, and then during his divorce, his wife did a discovery with a social worker, and they found it, and they used it against him to take his kids away. So that's why I'm even more confidential about my notes, where it's like, I don't want a note to be the reason why the kids get taken away. I would want their behavior or something that like they did, not just like, oh, he was drinking. Well, you're allowed to drink. You know, it's like if you drank and then crashed your car into a mailbox and fought the cops off, then you got your kid. You know, that's a reason to maybe get the kids in protective custody for a minute, or you beat your kids. And that's usually why they do it. So I write my notes in such a way, oh, this is exactly how ours used to look. Goals, objective, and the treatment plan, and then like what you did. These are usually the billables. That's so weird because I used to write on exactly this: date of service, location code, service code, start time, stop time. They want it to the minute. So that's scary too. You can't like juice up your minutes. Like you start at 107 and it finished at 153. They want you to write that. And then Medicaid, they pay you in 15-minute increments. But if you saw them for 8 minutes of those 15, they'll pay you. So if you saw or did a phone call and it was 8 minutes, they'll pay you for 15 minutes. If you did 23 minutes in the session, they'll pay you for 30. And then from 23 to 37, it's a half hour pay. From 38 to 52, they pay you for 45 minutes. So they usually round up at the halfway point. And you can put that exact time and minute in there and they still pay you. I liked that because if I was struggling to make 20 billable hours one week, I would do, how many is that? 20, 80 8-minute phone calls for the whole month. You know what I mean? Like it sounds crazy, but if you did call their PO, call their school, call the principal, call the mom, call the client, and you can get them all to 8 minutes or 7.5 minutes on your phone, you're doing your full-time job. And that's a month you're really struggling. Maybe you go and see them for half of that and you only have to do like 40 8-minute phone calls or check-ins at the school, or like a drive-by where you go into like the detention center or the school or wherever else they're working. So have any of you done volunteer work or stuff like social work before? What do you want to do when you get out in the field? What's your, even psychology, who do you want to work with?
I want to work with homeless people.
I used to do that. Inner city or like out in the country?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I want to work with children for just like kind of needy people and just like in certain situations.
5 to 9 or like 10 to 15?
I rather work with the younger children.
Yep.
So like 5 to 5.
Yep. Maybe school social work even.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay.
I want to be a medical social worker.
Oh yeah, that's the money.
Yeah.
We just had one on that before too. We were just looking up before class because like, what is the expected pay for all of that?
But I also have a backup plan to be CPS worker. Not because
Yeah.
I want to take kids.
Like Karen,
Yeah, because I want to do her program.
right?
So
I mean, you can do that as your internship and
yeah, that's
still.
what I'm looking into. But it's not about just like, when you say that, like people in the outside world who are not invested into social work, you want to take people's kids, and that's not all.
No,
It's more about removing kids from a bad predicament.
making them safe, right?
Yeah, it's not about like, oh, I'm going to take a kid. It's not about that. But yeah.
And her program only requires you dedicate 1 year after you graduate.
Yeah.
And they pay you that year too. So it's not like you're just volunteering. You're getting $50,000 a year to work for them, which is
Yeah.
good.
So yeah, I want to do that. That's my backup plan to be a CPS.
That's good. I didn't know you could do collaborative documentation with groups. So works for 60-minute groups with 8 clients. And then you tell clients prior to the session that you'll be asked to report on what was most helpful, what was not most helpful in the group. How did the group help you towards meeting your treatment plan goals? Leave 2 minutes per client at the end. So, damn, 14 minutes if you got a group of 7. That's like a quarter of the group. Groups facilitator brings up the first client note and summarizes the overview of group sessions and verbally documents. Facilitator conducts checkout, allowing clients to each spend 1 or 2 minutes reporting as facilitator documents. And then alternative is to document all responses in e-form and then copy paste it into the chart. That's usually what we did. We had to copy paste all their responses. So yeah, so those are kind of the different trainings you would get for, I have no idea where this is from though. Obviously this was like a conference somewhere. And look, they got a weird looking link. Nope, got nothing. Nothing in that link. They lied to us. So this was, yeah. Their name kind of scares me though. They sound like a bean counter where they're like, you're going to make more money if you get your therapist to do it this way. And she's the lead process change consultant. But they do both have the right MSW. Now that's weird to me that she doesn't have a license because that tells me she doesn't do the work. She just talks about doing the work. And then he's got an MBA and MAED and LCPC. So he might be a licensed clinical practicing counselor. So interesting. So yeah, that's, I know we're getting out into the weeds, but like how many hours do they expect you to bill per week? At the jobs you guys do right now, what do you have to do? What's your least favorite job and best favorite job you've ever done?
I only had 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I only had 3.
Okay.
They all kind of the same.
You liked them?
But since we started working,
Yeah. Or even volunteering. Was there a volunteer job you liked?
My favorite job is the job I work now. I work at the hospital.
Oh, yeah. What do you do?
I'm a patient care tech.
And they pay well?
For me not to have any bills. You know, yeah. I
Yeah.
think I make like $20 an hour.
Holy shit.
And then
That's
like,
good.
Right now, the couple shifts I've done, I'm on incentive pay, so I make $5 more.
What?
So I've been making like $2 an
They hiring?
hour. Yeah, probably.
That's pretty good. So in Dayton somewhere?
Mhm.
And you
I
got
work at Miami Valley Hospital, that's downtown. I work
Downtown.
At 3 hospitals.
at 3 of them?
Mhm.
Oh, dang. And so like following the patient around and being their
You know,
head.
like I take vitals, I do blood sugars, I do baths. Like,
Oh, so you got to be
yeah.
trained in it then. You got to
Well, the
have.
hospital trains you.
Do they? So you don't need a license or anything? Okay. Dang. I know.
When we had the snowstorm, they were paying us, I think, time and a half. So,
Really?
like, what we make and then plus like half of that.
37 an
And
hour?
then they started doing double pay, so we're making like
50 an hour? That's legit. Do you get like 20 to 40 a week?
No, I'm PRN, so PRN, like since we're in school, we can pick up whenever we want.
Yeah.
So like I could pick up for like weeks straight and then not work for months. Like I can just pick up.
Oh, they do let you. Would they let you take 40 hours a week?
Yeah.
It's just too much in school, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's legit though. That would be 50,000 a year if you always got 25 an hour. Okay. Yep.
well, my favorite job is probably my last 2. My last job was a patient registration specialist. So
Yeah.
I was doing registration at the hospital. But
Okay.
not the hospital, I was doing it at the OBGYN, so I was dealing with the pregnant people.
Oh, right.
Yes, registration.
They're all like hormonal, like yelling at you. Like, give me a freaking water now.
And I did that in summer of 2024, but now I do the preschool. And I work there, now I work there on breaks. Like now I'm locked in. Like I just text her like I'm coming home on break or something.
Okay. And they pay well too.
Yeah, for not having no bills and not having nothing to pay for, yeah, it's 17 at the daycare.
You say for not turning in bills?
Yeah, because I'm not paying no bills or nothing, so my
Oh,
money's
right.
supposed to be- so
Okay.
I
Is that
have,
what
like-
you guys were saying? I was
Yeah,
like,
to not have a lot of bills.
it's just extra money.
Yeah, like I spend money on what I want to do. The most I pay is my car insurance,
Do you pay your
my phone bill.
taxes, or do your parents still claim you? So you got to give.
I just turned 22, so my mom is still filing school.
Okay.
So she's just now, probably next year, not first doing myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was filing
Okay.
my
And is-
school and stuff.
Would they call it 1099 pay, or is it
98 pay, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But my
That's
mom, when she
interesting.
filed, my mom gave me some money, like a nice amount of too. So,
Yeah. Well, because healthcare is $17 trillion of our economy, is what I've been told. So it's like a third of our economy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I feel like a lot of it is government funded. Like they print that money off just like how the hell? Because Medicare and Medicaid, like that's who you're usually billing. They give it to the hospitals give it to you guys. I think. I could be way off on that, but I'm pretty sure it's government funded.
But yeah, my current job is at the daycare.
Okay.
I work there on summer break, winter break, spring break, not this spring break, but I worked on all breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Dayton or in
No, I'm from Indiana.
Indiana.
Mhm.
That's what the chair's wife just opened her daycare in Indiana.
Oh, okay.
She was our secretary for 4 years down there, the Perdomos, and now she has her own daycare. I think there's government vouchers for daycare. Does that sound right too? So that's government money too.
Yeah.
I always try to figure out where the funding source is.
Sources
Like,
from- oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah. And then at school, I'm going to job at school. I got work study, but
Oh, that's right. So this summer, if you are nearby, I know not everybody's in town, but there's Dr. Nagel is trying to hire. We want a social worker that will do the Greene County Juvenile Detention Center. He said it would be 20 to 40 hours a week, $20 an hour. So that's coming up this summer. I don't know if anybody's local or staying around here, but we are working on doing that, if that makes sense.
I have a question.
Yep,
It's about taxes.
that's okay.
I brought it up. Okay, so I be filing my own taxes, but my mom still claims me.
Mhm.
So basically, I have filed the school,
Mm.
and I was supposed to get this amount of money,
Um,
but then after I filed it, it just went down. So like now I'm getting so much less. So I'm curious, is that money going to my mom, or like did somebody snatch it? Should I be telling her she owed me some money?
Oh, right.
Her taxes.
well, that's why parents do keep us on as dependents as long as they can.
Yeah,
Because
she filed me as a dependent.
and doing school.
have you asked AI yet?
So like my cousin, I asked her, she files taxes a lot. So I had asked her like, why was I supposed to be doing this amount? But then after I actually filed them and it went through, it went down to this. And she was basically saying, I guess, when you still a dependent, you just get less money.
Was it on TurboTax?
Yeah, I use TurboTax. I'm like, dang, 1,100 would have been so nice.
So what did they say it would be and what'd you get?
I was supposed to get 1,100. That was from the school, but now I'm only getting 201.
201.
Yes. I'm so sad.
Okay.
Like,
It says if your mother claimed you as a dependent, your refund decreased. She likely took the education credits or dependent exemption you were entitled to. When you're claimed as a dependent, your standard education is limited, reducing your refund. What happened to your money? Dependent exemption credit. Your mother likely claimed child-related credits like earned income credit or education credit that are now assigned to her return. Rejection. If you tried to file electronically, your return was rejected because the IRS system already recognized your social security number on her return. So she filed before
you
you.
know what's crazy? They it rejected at first, and I didn't know what happened, but it was because I guess I didn't put that I'm still being taken care of because I don't know, I forgot what the question was, but it was something like, am I taking care of myself? And I was like, I mean, yeah, I pay for school by myself. Like, we paying for it. Ain't no other program helping me pay for school. So that's what I was thinking. But they were actually asking about like being a dependent and stuff like that. So they rejected it, and then we went to go fix it. And then that's when it went down to $200. What happened?
Because maybe it did pick up that your social security was already
My mom,
claimed.
She already filed it.
Did she do it the first day?
I'm sure she did.
Right. I mean, I tried and I did it February 2nd and I found out you could have filed on January 26th, which was nuts. Well, it says verify your eligibility, confirm if you provided more than half of your own support. If you did, you may not be a dependent, like if you paid for yourself. File by mail. Since you cannot e-file, you must print and mail your tax return claiming yourself as an independent. IRS investigation, that means you're snitching on your mom.
Yeah, too much. I'm like, okay, it makes sense, whatever.
The IRS will eventually send letters to both you and your mother investigating who is entitled to the claim. Did you ask her about it, or it's like
I haven't
uncomfortable?
even called her and told her
Right.
that it rejected, because I asked her when I was doing it, they was asking a couple questions I didn't know, and I asked her.
Right.
And she just sent me the contact information to my cousin because she's actually good at filing taxes.
Right.
That's why I've been talking to her about my tax stuff. I haven't even got a chance to tell her, like, yeah, I finally filed, they rejected, and then she said they rejected
Well,
because of this.
How much of your own housing, food, water, shelter do you pay?
Like what you mean?
That's ultimately the question. If you pay more than half of your own stuff, like your rent and your gas,
Oh, no.
that then the IRS would fine in her favor probably.
Yeah, I don't pay for anything. I don't have to-
So she claims you as a dependent because she's helping you out. That's usually like
No,
right.
I still look
You can
at-
talk with her about it. Like, I was about to
Ask
file.
her.
Say I was excited. I saw it was 1,100, and then it turned into 200.
So you see,
You want to meet me in the middle?
go up to 1 or 2, it's mine.
Will you meet me in the middle, Mom?
Yeah, I haven't even got the chance to talk to her, but
Right.
up to her because yeah, you got my
Right.
money.
I know, because I had to start paying all my own shit with student loans by like 21 or 22, like. Because it's the education credit, you get 2,500 there, and then reduce standard deduction. Oh, huh. Interesting.
These are my favorite from my
Yeah.
college project.
Yeah. Are they being all weird about it, or they're just
No.
like,
They cool.
that's good? They're like, yeah, just do it this way, and then we'll do. Is that okay? Who gets the money? Your mother. By claiming you, she likely receives $500 credit for other dependents. More importantly, she's now the only one who can claim the education credits mentioned above. If you don't qualify as a dependent, that money stays with the government rather than being sent as a refund. What you can do, snitch. They should write that. Snitch.
So,
Because they only give it to one person. So either she got it, and this happens with divorced people all the time too, because like whoever the kid stayed with 7 months, that's who I think would get it. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
my mom would definitely get it.
And then if you do 5225, then they rotate years. Like mom gets it this year, dad gets it that year. Mom gets it this year, dad gets it that year. They always it's crazy.
Which kid they gonna claim?
Right. Yep. That's usually how it.
Work
Yes.
Together with the kids.
Yes.
They gotta figure it out. They might just take turns.
Oh, yeah.
This
Right.
year I'll claim, next year, sorry.
Yeah. Did I? Oh, I want to show you guys this one on Thursday about because I've always had this debate about productive time when you work somewhere. I know at some easier jobs that are like a babysitting job, they might not care about your productivity as much. But when you become a licensed social worker and you're billing with your license, and how many are from Ohio? Are you all from Ohio? 2, 3, 4. Okay. No. Michigan? Yeah. And then Indiana. And then, am I missing a state? Which one's your state? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even need a license up there for social work. Did you know that?
You know?
For bachelors. Is what I was told, unless they change it. So you get your,
4 year.
right, that's if you go do mostly case management with a bachelor's. Now, when you do your master's, they probably make you get a license. Because you, really? Okay. You might double your pay, though. So think about it. I always say.
I'm doing other stuff too, so I don't want to do all the years in and social work, because I got other stuff I like to.
What's the other ones?
Well, I also do hair, so I'm gonna get the $100.
Okay. You could do hair therapy. That way it could be therapeutic hair. I mean, it is therapeutic when people get their hair done, don't you think?
Yeah, it used to be. It can be her.
Right. If it doesn't cost $700, but
Beauty is pain, is what I say.
if you could bill for both therapy and doing their hair, I wonder what the ethics would be there.
Yeah, because it also be like therapy sessions sometimes, depending on your hairstyle.
They are, for real.
Tell you a lot of information. Advice.
Bye. Have a good one.
You too.
Well, I'll do this one on Thursday with you guys.
What is it?
So it's most agencies, and that was the thing I was looking up to start out the class, is what productive hours, what is normal productivity? And I still think it's 20 billable hours a week. Now, agencies want to make more money off of you, so they'll pay you a salary and say, no, we want you to bill 25 hours a week. Problem being is more people burn out at 23, 24, 25 hours a week, and then you lose a therapist and you have to retrain a new one, and it might cost you more money to retrain a new one when they experience burnout. So my argument is there's also the ethics of some people are trying to get that productive number, so then they write a fake note. They say they saw a client and they just write some BS. And that's called Medicaid fraud. Like, you can get arrested for that. So there's ethics on both sides of it. Like the agency expecting you to do too much, and then us, instead of taking a sick day, maybe acting like we saw our clients. Yeah. And it happens. I know it sounds crazy when people are like, I'm just going to write up the note, and then sometimes your supervisor's like, did you ever see them? And they're like, nope. And they're like, busted. So that's why it's better just to be straight up about everything, because eventually people sniff it. I've had at each of the 6 or 7 agencies I've worked at, there's always like one that got busted for Medicaid fraud, and they'll take your license and stuff too. So it hurts even more to get that. But yeah, I wanted to talk about it a bit. So they're still saying 25 to 30. I disagree with that. The math in a 40-hour work week, that leaves 10 hours for documentation. That's, if you're not traveling, that could be okay. But if you're doing like home visits and driving 10, 20 minutes in between sessions, that's too much. Dealing with traffic, getting like, road raged on, and then seeing your client and then driving to the next. I'm sorry. So this one says, case management, intensive case management, 12 to 15 clients. Standard is 25 to 40. I do agree with that. You could have 25 clients and bill for 20 hours, because maybe one of them you only see a half an hour, or one of them's sick one week. So hospital, medical, social work. So they're saying 6 to 10 patients per day, probably because you're always in the hospital. That's still a lot. Degree level, MSWs have a higher productivity requirement in clinical settings because their hours can be billed at a higher rate to insurance. That's faulty logic, I'm sorry. Have higher productivity requirements in clinical settings because their hours can be billed at a higher rate to insurance. Wouldn't it go the opposite way? Like, because you can bill for more, you're more valuable, so they expect you to do less. I don't know. And then if you're a BSW working on your clinical license, your agency ideally reduce your productivity requirement by 1 to 2 hours a week to account for supervision time. I like that. So that's actually good. And then travel, like I said, if you're a home-based worker, your productivity should be lower than an office-based worker to account for your drive time. So that I agree with too. It's interesting to see all the stuff that's written up about it. I know it sounds maybe boring to you guys, but I've seen so many people. I had a client come in this week, and she's burnt out as they gave her 35 clients a week. And that's just a lot, because you got to deal with your own mental health and do your own self-care in between, like crisis after crisis after crisis after crisis, and writing the notes about it. So that's why I think it's important to pick a job that values you and gives you self-care time. Honestly, that's really what it is. Because people will work us to death if we let them.
So
They'll
they
do it.
tell you how many people you need to see.
If they're paying you a salary.
Oh.
Now, if you're paid part-time and you're see per client they pay you, that's different. Then you can see as many or as few as you want. Like I work for one or two where I get my most clients from, but I have two online ones where like I have a Wednesday at 2 o'clock, I would see a client, and a Thursday at 11. And that could pop up at any time, but they don't care how few I see because they'll give me 60 for that hour when I see somebody there. And apparently they just raised it to 75 for 1 hour of seeing the client. So that's good. Did it break? Did anybody go to convocation? Do you only have to go as freshmen to convocation?
I was hearing that the freshmen are required to go. Now I'm hearing if you were part of any kind of organization, you had to go. I didn't know nothing about that, so I was not there.
They probably wanted everyone to show out there. Like they demand we be there because they want to have all the cap and gowns there and like the procession and you know what I mean? It's in our contract.
It was crazy. Like I heard that they have like a little survey. You had to name at least 5 people who was on stage and put a picture that you
What?
was actually there. Like, why is it that deep?
Who
Like,
did that? Where the hell was that? What was it? Where is this?
at the little convocation?
Who sent that out?
I don't know. Look like a QR code or something.
What?
And it was actually you named 5 people that was on the stage, and you had to upload a picture that you was actually there.
That's just
Like,
too
I was
That is too much.
and then they lock your doors if you wait. Like,
Yeah, they said
What?
they come in.
like it was
So
too
some
much.
other people went, that was late and they got in. They wasn't.
So
I don't see
what do you get out of going? Yeah, I mean I get that, but like
It's
you make so
birthday, but
you make something mandatory
I don't
that's
see why it's so, like, why do we have?
The email that they sent out said it didn't even say required, it said it is like, I don't know what the word was.
A
but
way
it
to-
wasn't even required, like,
They just encourage us to go.
yeah, I think. it was like,
Right,
they encouraged
okay.
We're
us
all
to go.
making it.
but then why are they giving you a damn quiz?
Right.
Do you guys have that QR code? I totally want to see that.
I
Or
didn't
the
go.
Let me see if it opened.
I know, I want to see if you can email me that
Like, it wasn't even opening.
because I want to send it to my boss. Like, dude, they're making them go too. They make us go or we have to take a sick day.
Yeah, they, and then I had read, it was some messages from some little group chat. I feel like it was like some kind of organization group chat, something like that. She was saying at least 50% of like people in your org had to be there, and you'll get an email if your org wasn't at 50%. Well, count me out. I'm not gonna be a part of that 50, so hopefully my org don't get an email.
Right.
Hopefully we make that
Jeez,
50%.
man. I didn't.
She's not even gonna look. She got more
That
stuff
too,
going on.
like.
Oh, wow.
Okay, for probate test coming up, she worried about the wrong thing.
It's not that
Besides
serious,
all
girl. I guess they, I don't know how they found out, but they knew like other people was actually there to send them a picture, so, fake pictures that they were there. with
That's
the
crazy though, isn't it?
You need to have at least 50% of your org has to be there, like, I didn't even know your org
What?
had to be there.
Yeah, I didn't know until this morning.
Like, and then the email that they sent out about the charter day, it
Wow.
was just a flyer. I didn't see no words. I just got.
That is so crazy though. How can they like
They're-
force you guys to go?
Right.
Let's see here. All right. Well, do you guys have any questions for did anybody want to lead today? I should have asked you that first.
With the presentation.
Yes.
Wait, aren't they due tonight?
I put that in there so you would have something, but you could do it Thursday or next week or
The
whenever.
extra credit for this week, right?
What's that?
The extra credit is for this week.
Oh, right. Yeah. If you want to be the first one, that's the idea. Yeah.
I ain't done.
You
I'm not even done. I ain't done.
don't have to make it stressful though, I promise.
Yeah, like, unfortunately, like, I found me a, what is it, mental health disorder now, but
Okay.
I was so set on the postpartum depression, and like, I didn't want to do the other one that you had said because somebody already did it.
Psychosis.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
it was just so hard to find something that stuck out to me, because I'm like, no, I don't want to do that, I want to do something different.
That you like. Yeah. It's
that I
nice.
actually want to do instead of just picking one.
So which one did you land on, are you saying?
I think it was called borderline personality disorder.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, I picked that
That's-
one. So
That's a very
I
interesting
finally
one.
got something
Okay.
to do, so now-
Any of you guys want help or need help on yours? Okay. Anything you're interested in? Damn, I guess it is.
Schizophrenia.
I feel like, unless if you want to